The procedure was called the tour de maître, the turn of the master. The knife would be brought up under the knee and then would be brought straight through all the flesh and muscle, totally severing all the flesh. Yeah, that would be done in not much more than a few seconds. And then a straightforward surgical saw would be used to go through the two bones, and the leg would be removed.
Gosh, it sounds awful.
Can you imagine the agony of this without anesthesia? The pain was a normal part of life for most people up to the mid-1800s. Whoever needed any dental work, broken bone adjustments, tumor or limb removal, or any procedure had to face unimaginable horrors of pain. Today we'll visit a small town in North Georgia, Jefferson, where all this changed and where anesthesia was first used on a patient. Can you believe it? Aren't these small towns full of surprises? Back in the early 1800s, this was a small rural village in North Georgia with only about 5,000 people living in Jackson County. Just a few years ago it was Cherokee and Creek land, and now Jefferson was frontier town and almost everyone was living on family farms. It's not hard to imagine occasional buggy and horse riders passing through the dusty roads of this rural community. But here was a young and humble medical doctor with only essential and basic medical instruments, fitting in a small medical case, with a small office in the back of the general store.
At the age of 25, Long bought Dr. Grant's practice in Jefferson, a town of about 500 people 20 miles northwest of Athens. Dr. Long traveled great distances on horseback to reach many of his patients. Dr. Long suggested to one of his patients that ether would eliminate the pain of removing two small neck tumors. James M. Venable, after postponing the surgery several times because of fear of pain, finally allowed Dr. Long to remove one of his tumors on March 30th, 1842. The ether was administered on a towel placed over his nose and mouth. Long charged Venable $2 for the procedure and 25 cents for the ether. Venable later said, "I did not feel the slightest pain from the operation and could not believe the tumor was removed until it was shown to me." Dr. Long became the first person to use anesthesia effectively in a surgical procedure, and medical history was made in Jefferson, Georgia. Many people affectionately called him Dr. Savior because of the free medical care he offered to poor whites and blacks. Over the next few years, Dr. Long used ether several times during surgery and childbirth, but didn't publish the news. As the threat of civil war grew, he knew medicine might become scarce. He ordered large quantities of drugs, ether, chloroform, and carbolic acid, to keep on hand. Long was named physician to the University Campus Hospital in Athens, where he treated sick and wounded soldiers and their families. After the Civil War, Dr. Long resumed his regular practice in Athens. His drugstore operation was now the largest in northeast Georgia. He enjoyed playing cards and raising thoroughbred horses. One night in 1878, he told his family at dinner, "No man ever had better children than I have." The next day, moments after delivering a baby girl, he collapsed from a stroke. He told others in the room, "Care for the mother and child first." And then he died.
There are other interesting sights to see in Jefferson. Did you know that the first private academic institution in Georgia was established here in 1818? The initial name was Jackson County Academy, and it was changed later in 1859 to the Martin Institute. Jefferson is a great little place to visit and explore for a day, and it makes you think of many men and women who improved the quality of our lives. The first Doctor's Observance Day was held on March 30th, 1933 in Visor, Georgia. This was to honor physicians on the anniversary of the first use of anesthesia in 1842 by Dr. Crawford Long in this little town in the North Georgia mountains. In 1991, the World Medical Association officially declared March 30th as International Doctors' Day. My friend, do you think we should be more grateful for the quality of life we all get to enjoy today? Yes, absolutely.